training vlog 43. Yeah, I'm pretty good on that one now. Still another deload workout, this time lower body. I'm gonna take you guys through this one again. Starting with deadlifts. Here we go. So yeah, just like the last video, first movement, this is the warm up. I literally walk into the gym, grab the barbell, and go. Nothing super specific, just do some deadlifts, do some rows, get everything nice and warm, and then add weight. Also, check out the Fit new drip, available at the website. It's our university stuff. I think we got this is like Mizzou colors, where I'm from. We got Michigan and Harvard. I don't know. So yeah, if you guys are interested in some new merch, it's over on the website for a limited time. It just sells out and then we do something else. So if you like this, we got an oversized hoodie. I think I got the shirt underneath, so you'll see that here in a bit. And then we got some hoodies and some shorts. Still a few flags left, I think, too, but anyway, all right, enough self-promo. We'll get to lifting. You know what we need? Some country music to drown out this nonsense. I usually don't pay attention to music in the gym, but this stuff's exceptionally bad. Let's go Luke Combs radio today. How about that? Good enough. All I'm just trying to do is just trace the bar down my legs. Feel a good stretch in the hamstrings. Yeah, usually do like 3 or 4 sets. Add weight and go. All right, so today's workout, yeah, deadlifts, leg press, leg extensions, leg curls, calves, and some ab workout at the end. Still deload, so not too much volume of each. Shouldn't be too long of a video, we think. Just really thinking lats here. All right, good enough. Time to add some weight. All right, first set, 135. I'm not actually using straps. Don't worry, guys. All right, we got 2 sets, 4 to 6, somewhere in that 4 to 2 RIR range. Just a deload week, so nothing crazy. Thinking 585 to 620, somewhere in there. All right, so you guys see this, the old rest periods. Really just load it and go. Trying to do plate jumps all the way up, probably. Question, why use straps? The biggest thing is like when doing multi-rep sets, especially on rubber platforms that are bouncy like these are, just tears up my hands. So I see no reason to do that, but if I was doing singles, I would not use straps, obviously. Or getting ready for a powerlifting meet in general. I usually use straps on higher rep sets, accessory work, stuff like that. Again, just to preserve my hands from getting torn up, which is really hard to lift without straps then if your hands are torn up. Yeah, all right, cool, we'll go up. You guys ever grab a plate and you're like, that's definitely not 45 pounds. Yeah, I think that one was light, probably 42, 43, but I don't know how calibrated my hand scale is. For non-competitive powerlifting, or even competitive powerlifting, it honestly really doesn't matter. If it's close enough, that's all right. It's just like, you know, you prefer to use calibrated plates if you're really trying to dial in your numbers within like a few, 1% or something like that. But for general training, people are like, oh, but what if it's off 2.5 pounds? It's like, well, then you lift 2.5 pounds less or more. Who cares? Really trying to like, I I don't know, send it every single session and going up 2.5 or 5 pounds, regardless of how you're feeling and how you're performing, is kind of stupid anyway. So, yeah, the weight on the bar is just a tool. So, all right, let's go. Yeah, it's fine. All right, another plate. All right, so yeah, just do plates all the way up, plate jumps, and then pretty much haven't taken any rest except for loading the weight. Now I'll take 2 minutes, pull this for 1, figure out what I'm gonna do for my top set, and then top sets in this case, because yeah, 2 sets of 4 to 6, at 4 to 2 RIR, RP 6 to RP 8. Yeah, I'll probably wait to address the questions from the last vlog. Really appreciate you guys doing that, by the way. It's useful. I'll probably just do it in a separate vlog, like a form check vlog or some other sort of like Q&A thing, because I just think my brain stops working when I'm training, and then yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make this a chore. I kind of like this, you know. Just these are things I would be thinking about rather than you know, just answering questions, and then it's like I'm working all the time. So yeah, hang out for another 90 seconds or so. Hold this, and then go up. Kick in 585, 6, 585, 6, something like that. 2 sets, yeah. Cue I really like using now on deadlifts, particularly for me, because I was dropping my hips too low for a long time. Kicking the bar forward, bar's forward to where it needs to be, it's off the legs, and it's either off the legs at the start, but then it'd be off the legs like just above the knee, just making it less efficient. So I'm thinking about getting my shoulders in front of the bar and keeping them over the bar off the floor. So hips a little higher, shoulders over the bar, keep them over the bar off the floor. The whole idea of like keeping your hips low, you can't do that when you deadlift anyway. So just like a red flag, somebody giving you form advice that just don't know what they're talking about. Not to directly call anybody out, just saying like it's not possible to lift heavy weights off the floor with your hips low, shoulders behind the bar. Can't do it. So advocating for that just suggests don't really know what they're doing. So yeah, for me, shoulders over the bar. Keep the bar close all the way up, and yeah, put the old belt on. Just do it for my last warm-up set, so work set doesn't feel too different. Yeah, that's fine. Well, let's go 6. All right, let me load this, and I'll come back and hang out. So just loaded 6. Gonna rest like 3 minutes or so. I would talk, but I think I just want to focus on this. So I'll come back. The only thing I'll say is that I've got a pretty cool new article coming out on belts and what they do, like the science of lifting belts. We'll do a podcast on that too, but yeah, just gonna focus on this, and when the workout dies down to something that I care less about, we can maybe talk about deadlifts and whatever else I'm doing. Heart rate's 79 right now. Let's go. All right, not super great, but good enough. Do one more set. All right, so set the timer, 4 minutes, do another set. Yeah, just not feeling super fresh today for whatever reason. It's just because I know it's a deload, I guess, and just kind of, well, who knows what the reason is, but yeah, it was the right load for today. And do another set, 4 or 5 reps at probably like RP 8, and then move on. So yeah, I was originally supposed to do RDLs for this block, but for me, RDLs get pretty heavy, just like regular deadlifts, and I prefer regular deadlifts. And in the context of a powerlifting meet, a powerlifting training like program, I would just do both, right? But since this was like my only heavy pull from the floor, I just prefer to do deadlifts. I don't know that they're great for hypertrophy. I don't know that RDLs are any better really. Just like a lot of fatigue and yeah, some hypertrophy stimulus, but that whole calculus really more applies, I think, to more advanced people rather than people just starting. There's a lot of people who should probably spend a good chunk of time doing the compounds, heavier anyway, than worrying about what's optimal for hypertrophy. It's a pretty slow process anyway, so it's like, yeah, get strong too. And get strong in the compound list, and I think that's reasonable advice. I wouldn't do it on a linear progression, just I think that model is not very sustainable long term and has its own, problems. Should be auto-regulated ideally, and should have a variance of rep ranges and exercises and this and the other, but should probably still get strong too, even if you are just principally concerned with getting bigger and getting stronger in some big compound movements. Again, not really reinventing the wheel here. All right, I'll shut my mouth so I can catch my breath and do this next set. B- again. All right, we're doing leg press, second exercise, 2 sets, 6 to 10, 4 to 2 RIR. I use pretty much the same stance as my squat, maybe just a little narrower. And then, yeah, a little narrower and less toe out. Just maybe focus on the quads a little bit more. Could all just be bro science, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So let's warm up. So I go all the way down. All right, warming up. Add some weight here. Looks good. Looks good. I just wish they would turn down the music. I know it sounds like like I'm shaking my fist at the sky, but I honestly do. I hate this music, and I don't dislike rap. I like a lot of rap music, just not this rap music, and it's like noise pollution to my ears. Plus, how are you guys gonna hear what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. It's whatever. It can be loud. I just really don't like it. All right, 2 sets, 6 to 10. Yeah, big thing here for me is full depth. So a little bit slower on the way down to make sure I go all the way down. And then, yeah, full lockout. People are like, don't extend your knees. Like, why? Quadriceps do that, so definitely do that. Yeah, let's send it. That doesn't sound good on. All right, 675, not so bad. Come back in about 3 minutes, do second set. Second set of leg press. It's funny, you guys can probably hear this over the music, but like, it's definitely catching on the way up, just not confidence inspiring. It's like the bench the other day that was like creaking. It's like, whatever this thing's sliding on does not sound good, but all right, last set. Yeah, so big breath in, start, full depth, and then see if you can move it up as fast as possible, all the way to lockout. One, That's it. All right, only 9, but good enough. All right, hamstring curl. I'm gonna make sure the pad's like just above my heels. Yeah, that's good. Doing 3 sets of 8 to 12. Yeah. So just really focus on dragging the heels to my butt and controlling the rep. Oh boy, maybe a little aggressive. Six. 3 more, come on. Cool. All right, yeah, so it's like RP7-ish. That's what we're looking at, like 3 RIR to 1 RIR, so RP7 to 9. Yeah, again, you can just take isolation stuff a little bit closer to failure without as much fatigue cost. And even if you do get more fatigue, it's just not that much compared to like taking a compound lift to failure. So one thing when I'm thinking about like fatigue costs of different exercises, I'm thinking about total muscle mass being used, the load being used, range of motion being used from like a biological standpoint. Psychologically, like previous history plays a big part. Like if people are really anxious, nervous, or whatever about a particular exercise type, it's just gonna cost more than if somebody either has no experience with it or positive previous experience. So like somebody coming back from an injury, like a knee injury, and they're doing like single leg work, they might be pretty keyed up about that. There's also social influences. So like you go to a different gym and it's all, you know, hyped up, chalk dust flying everywhere, metal, ammonia. It's gonna cost a little bit more. And then same thing with like people priming you. So you can have positive or negative expectations based on people priming you, like, oh, that looks really heavy, or oh, this workout's gonna be real tough if it's like a group workout thing. So just something to consider when you're trying to compare. Go for it, man. All right, getting a little crowded in here, so missed the second set. This will be last set. Try to get 10. Okay. 3, 4. Heels to the butt. Come on. All good. Needed that break anyway. Oh. All right, second to last exercise. Got calf, well, got calf raises and ab stuff after this, so. Oh, you're good. I just start. Oh, okay. Somebody's probably hip thrusting with it. Odds are in here. Yeah. Still let everybody know, hip thrusts are fine. There's just nothing really special about them. And good lift to do in addition to your deadlifts or deadlift variations or squats and squat variations, but like only hip thrusts? I don't know. All right, 3 sets, 8 to 12. Just focusing on really pushing from here. Actually like pulling my legs up. I know anatomically it doesn't make any sense, but that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, that probably wasn't heavy enough. Let's do 2 more sets, 8 to 12. Anyway, to go back to the hip thrust thing, I think people see them on social media, right? Like people are doing them, and again, they're fine. It's just like, if you're saying, oh, they more glute hypertrophy than squats or deadlifts, I don't think I would say that. There's been some issues on the way that's been studied, and again, why not both? I feel like I see people doing a ton of hip thrusts and not enough squatting and deadlifting, particularly with the same sort of enthusiasm. If people will load up hip thrusts with very heavy weight, and which I'm pro doing that. Like yeah, go heavy enough to meet the proximity to failure that your program sort of calls for in that particular rep scheme. But you got to do that across the board. Do it for squats, do it for deadlifts. And it's like, if you can hip thrust 500 pounds, 600 pounds, 700 pounds, but you can't squat, over 300 pounds, like, suggest the training of your squat could maybe use some prioritization if you're interested in being strong. If it's just about hip thrusting a bunch of weight, like, ignore all that. But yeah, I think people who don't do any hip thrusts at all should probably do those in their program once in a while. So I don't think I'm hating on hip thrusts. I just think doing that to the exclusion of squats and deadlifts or variations thereof, just like doing squats and deadlifts to the exclusion of doing any hip thrusts ever in your program, it's kind of like unilateral training. Like, do a little bit, it's the seasoning if you're an SBD person or interested in that, but a lot of weird stuff going on in the gym right now. All right, second set, 8 to 12. Go gadget quads. Okay. All right, 3 minutes, do a next set. All right, last set, leg extensions, let's go. At least 10. I feel overzealous, but let's go quads. Dude. Oh, that's it. Oh boy, that sucked real bad. All right, second to last exercise, standing calf raises. I don't love these things. Just trying to pause at the bottom for a few seconds, feel a stretch. And yeah, the weight's really light for how much weight I could lift, but just trying to feel it, if that makes sense. But anyway, I didn't have any calves before this. And now I have some calves, so that's good. Give it 2 minutes, do another set. All right, second set here in this cacophony of noise and weird stuff. Just trying to pause in both positions. Oh yeah, it's a pretty good pump. Oh, yeah. I got calves now, so that's good. Yeah, I never really did calf stuff. If it was programmed, I would have done it, but it just wasn't in there. I think in hindsight, yeah, I would have done a few things differently. I would have moved on from non-auto-regulated training much earlier on. I didn't really get any stronger after my first year of training for another 3 years, just running non-auto-regulated stuff, very specific stuff. And yeah, I mean, knowing what I know now, things would have gone differently, but it was a useful process to learn. And at the time, there was just way less information. Now it's like a deluge, an overload of information. It's really hard to parse through what's good and what's not. So, as you guys are probably well aware of. So, but yeah, I would have done more calf work in my developmental stuff. Not a lot, but just some. Never did it. Same thing with curls and triceps work, and I did tricep stuff as I got more into powerlifting, because that's, you know, highly recommended, and yeah, so I definitely was doing that. But no bicep stuff unless, like I said, my elbows hurt. No calf stuff, no unilateral stuff until much later on. So I would have done that earlier on and used that to build this big base of physical development, and then apply that specifically later on. So yeah, some regrets about that, but better for me to go through it and, you know, be able to prevent you from making the same mistakes. So, all right, in the comment section, this is great. Austin and I argue about this all the time. Learning curve, right? My view is that you want a really steep learning curve, because then when you go through it, you're learning more faster. His thing is the steep learning curve is bad. I don't know, maybe the energy to overcome that, or the knowledge that you need to attain to move forward on the curve. Maybe that's what he's referring to. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this learning curve thing. Which way do you view it in the comments? All right, last set. Yeah, let's go. Whew. All right, last exercise, we're gonna do some hip extensions. Some people call these back extensions, but you really have to like flex the back and then extend it. This is more of a hip extension. Back extensions you can do by rounding over each segment and then extending each segment. Usually would do it on a GHD or something like that. But yeah, so this is just gonna be hip extensions, do a couple sets, get a sick pump, call it a day. So we'll exit this video with the request to like, subscribe, comment, do the whole thing. And this is me doing hip extensions. So I just do these prisoner style. Come up, try to squeeze my butt, get all the way to extension, feel my chest open up. So yeah, there's some obviously spinal flexion and extension. This is mostly hip flexion, hip extension. Big squeeze at the top. Yeah, there we go. Get the pump, low back and glutes. Mostly glutes, but it's good. All right, yeah. Like, subscribe, comment, do the whole thing. Training vlog 43. Kind of like this because I get to do it while I'm training, so not a big time suck. But yeah, if it becomes a burden, we'll do something else. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.